Hi friends, I stitch full coverage designs for many years, so I have some rules how to stitch faster, so it's essential to have some projects on the wall. My name is Olesya and I have about 15 full coverage designs right now in progress. Some of them are very close to the finish. So let's get started. All notes will be in comments, so you can easily find them and translate to your language if it's needed. So first one will be organizers. It's like thread keeper and needle keeper. I always try to optimize my time and do not spend too much to find the right color. I hope to have a video to create such kind of organizer with you sometime soon, but let me show what I have right now. It's like thread and needle keeper. Here I have it's for one project, which is a very big one, so it has lots of colors, but I have quite similar one for all DMC threads. And here I have only one floss cut to 1 meter, so I can combine blends if I need, or take one solid color if I need it. Let's assume I need 738. I will take one. I will pull out one strand, second strand, will stitch with it. And if I'm going to use this thread sometime soon, I will put like here my needle and will keep it here. For blends, I will have a separate organizer. If I not going to use this color for like probably 4 months, I can remove needle. In some cases it works like this one. Here you can see that I don't use needle just because it's project like very long time project. And keep this thread without a needle. And what I like the most about this one, it's a very small one, so I can put it on my canvas and it doesn't take too much space. Let me quickly show you how it looks like for blends. So for blends it's something like this. I have first color in red, and I have second color in blue, and I have needles for each color, and it doesn't take too much space, and all threads are in a bag, so they can have it for probably for more than a year, this needle keeper, and it works for me. So yeah, it definitely saves time on stitching. Second one would be to stitch by number. Actually, I tried several approaches, and this one I like the most because I spend less time on finding the right color on my needle keeper. Let me show what I mean. For one particular full coverage design, I have this kind of needle keeper. So it's like has 4 different palettes. And if I have in my application colors one by one, so it's much easier to find the right one. So I just go one by one, and I will show you a little bit later, but let's see that if it's like I don't spend much time to find the next color when I need it. And when I come to the end of this needle keeper, I will just move it to the back, and I will go with the next one. And in my application, it's much easier to leave some colors for the end if they have too many stitches and I don't want to stitch them right now, so it will not go back. I will select 2, this one I will leave, and this one I will select, so and it will go to the next one by one, and I don't need to select them manually. And here we came to next point, that I don't stitch right away colors which have too many stitches at the, for the particular area. So let me show you that. For this area for 1000 cross stitches, I have about 50 colors in the area. So when I go color by color, these ones probably above 20-25 colors I will just leave and will not stitch at the moment. And when I have only them, it will be much easier to stitch when I have only spots for this 10 colors. And last one will be the easiest one. It's the biggest color in the area, and I don't need to have a look on the chart and just stitch in this area and that's it. My next point would be to stitch in the particular area and do not go too far from it. In my case, right now, I take area for 1000 squares. So you can see that pink one already stitched, and this light color is not stitched. So in such case, I try to keep in my area, but if I have a little bit, usually about 5, a little close to 5 stitches in the connected area, I will go to this area. So let's say I have this 3, and I would like to stitch it as well. I will stitch it and cut the thread in some cases. So in such area, in such example, I will not have visible lines between areas, just because I usually go a little bit around, but still I don't spread too much in the area, and for me it's much easier to find where to stitch. Because if I finish every thread as much as possible, it becomes difficult to find the right spot to start and to find the right place to stitch. And in such case, I have too many mistakes, and I have to spend too much time on finding the right place, or otherwise I have mistakes and I spend time on redo my work. And I'm always happy to see your comments if you want to share something or ask me for more details about anything that I discussed on my channel. I understand that not every application allows it, but my application allows to highlight all colors which I stitched already in one touch. So I use it all the time. I find it very helpful. So if I stitch this one, I can click and it's already selected. So let's go back and try the same if I do it manually. Probably in such case I might stitch already 3 cross stitches at least for the same time. And second point would be to stitch from the application and not from the paper. Yes, of course, sometimes it's not easy to find a pattern in electronic way, but anyway, when I started to stitch from the application, I saw that I spent too much time working on my computer. So I thought that it's not good idea to stitch from the screen. But now I feel like it was really good decision for me, just because now I feel that my eyes do not get tired as fast as it was with paper, and definitely it's much faster. So when I stitch it from paper, it was about 2 years ago, probably already 3 years ago, it doesn't matter actually, I stitched about 100 cross stitches per hour, and it was like good speed for me. But now sometimes for easy areas, right now I have about 300-400 cross stitches per hour, so it's like 3 times faster. And again, for eyes, I feel like it's much even better than it was for with the paper. And let me add a couple more points on my organizer before I switch to the canvas. First of all, I use as many needles as I need. Minimum it would be for each color, I have 1 needle. For some cases, if the color, one of the most frequent one, I found it useful that if I have even more needles with a thread already, I find that it's much faster to get ready several needles already, maybe sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 5, and keep all them in a second row like this one. So here I have just one needle on the top, which I use right now, and here I have not started yet, but it's about 5 needles ready to go, and probably they will I will use them pretty much soon, and I don't need to take thread keeper at the moment for this particular color. If let's say this purple color, I have not many stitches to do, I will have only one needle here. And next point would be to try as much as possible to have needle ready and put a thread in it and have it on needle keeper when you finish the thread. Yeah, sounds weird. Yeah, I know. Sometimes it's very difficult to explain some thoughts, but let me explain. If I take this again purple one, yeah, and it's like very short one, and I finish it while I'm stitching, I will just take another one, and I will not will not remove this needle to my magnet. I just will add new thread here and we'll put it on my organizer. So when next time when I come to the same color, I just have already this needle ready to go. So in such case, I don't need to spend time checking that it's this spot is empty. Take a needle from magnet, and every time it could save probably about 5 seconds to checking if it's there or not. And as far as I have them in my zipper bag, they do not become too messy or bad. They just stay here and wait for me. Next one will not be about my cross-stitching speed, but some people ask me about what kind of stand I use. So let me show you what actually I do. So I don't have stand, I have just usual desk and my chair, office chair. So let me show you how it works for me. So probably it will answer some of your questions. My chair doesn't have one arm, but it works for any kind of chair as far as you have at least one arm. But for 2 it will work as well. So let's get started. I take my frame and put it on the desk and one side on the arm. Next step would be to take this hand clamp, which I took from my husband. He bought it for his repair projects. He doesn't need it anymore. Anyway, it's already mine. And I just like put it on the table from both sides. Let's see it closer. So I have this rubber band. It gives me extra tension for my canvas, but in such case it helps me to fix trestle and to the desk with this clamp. It helps a little bit, just it doesn't go too far. And the same for the for another side. So now when I stitch, it doesn't move actually. So I can try to put it up, down, it doesn't move. So for me it works the best way. And you can imagine how fast to switch between projects. And if it's like you need to change angle, you just like move your arm and it will go down, and again it's like just you can go, can go up and down, but it's usually when I stitch it doesn't move. So let's come back to my rules to stitch faster. What else helps me? And next one would be the right anchor. So if you anchor fast without moving the trestle there and back, for sure it saves time. And let me show you how I do it on Aida. I I put my thread somewhere like in 5 squares above, or in any area around. Go in inside of the square, hide, move it a little bit, one strand above, and just like pull it a little bit. And now in the same square I usually make a cross stitch. So right now I can try to pull it out, it doesn't go away, which is what we need actually, right? And when I need to finish my thread, what I pull it out in the left bottom corner of the same square and go in the middle, to the middle, and that's it. Go over somewhere like at least 3-5 squares. So next cross stitches will fix this thread as well, and just cut it. And now I can try to remove it. It's not so easy, right? And hopefully nobody will do that for me. So next one rule would be to stitch with 2 hands. For some it could sound like too difficult, and I just want to say that you have to allow yourself about 2 weeks to get used to it, and it will be faster after this time. Yes, if you try it just today, it's first your time to try it, it's like it will be much slower, but definitely it worth to try and give yourself time and do it. So let me show you how I do it, what helped me to get used to this approach. I'm a right hand person, so if I stitch just with one hand, I use right hand. That's why it's easier for me to move right hand to the back side. Just it's like it can find right spot much faster than left hand. Actually, I didn't try, but I believe my left hand will not do this work as good. So right hand on the back side, left hand on the visible side. And when I stitch, I help my left hand with eyes, so it's easier to find where I need to put my needle. And with right hand, it's just like probably you will need to move. You know that you know how to do that, right? If you stitch already not your first cross stitch. So right hand will be good, believe me. And it's much faster, right? You don't need to move your hand there and back all the time. Next point might sound a little bit funny, but I would say that it works for sure. If you want to stitch faster, you just need to move your hands faster. Sometimes if I need to stitch about 1000 cross stitches in an evening, I just move faster and it works. So yeah, but it might be a joke, but still it works. So let's just try it. In some cases I want to stitch slower, just to relax, to feel the thread, the sound, but not every time. So let's move to the next point. When I have a very long thread, usually I use 1 meter thread. I feel like it's most convenient for me. So I really like long threads. But if you pull it out all the time like this one and come back, it spends some time, right? So what the option what we can do if we want to stitch a little bit faster, I don't pull out the full thread, just a little bit, and just reverse it and go back. On the back side I keep with my fingers the rest of the thread, and it goes like this one. What I like about this one, with my finger, with my thumb, I move it in the right direction, so it goes, it lays down in the right way. So there become pretty and nice one. So this one, right? So let me show how it looks like on the back side. I will try to do it. So when I have a little bit of thread here, I keep it with my finger a little bit on top, like this one, and take it with 2 fingers, and it goes down. If you don't keep it with fingers, so in some cases it goes like this one. Let me show you. If I don't do anything, it can make can go somewhere here like this one and make a knot, which I don't like, and it will be slower actually. So just move it like with your finger a little bit on top, and just after that you can leave it. And about this rule, is the same as the previous one. You just need to have to give yourself time to get used to it, and it will work for you. Just like, believe me, for first couple of stitches it will not be faster, but it's like, it feels like a game when you try to learn something new, something interesting, and you, for me it was nice to try and get used to it. So for me, yeah, I like this approach a lot. And before we move to next point, let me show what I do with my mistakes. Yeah, for sure it happens, especially if you try to stitch faster. Or probably when you try to make a video with your cross stitching. In such case you will have some mistakes. What I do with them: if I stitch in such area which it doesn't matter as much, let's say that it's like brown leg right here, but this one should be a little bit lighter, and it's not like definitely different color like white and black. In such case I can let's say I need to stitch only 3 cross stitches, not 4. I will not remove last one just because it will take too much time. I will have to remove all of them and anchor the thread. In such case I will leave last half stitch as is, and will cover it with correct color. So let's say I will go further, and next color should be like this one, light brown. In some cases I can do it like this one, make a second stitch like on top, and it will be should be fine. If I see that it's like it doesn't work and still I see it's too dark and there too much of the difference, I will make just on top of it. Just don't forget to have the half stitch top half stitch the same direction. That's it. So now I don't see it, and on the full coverage you will not see any difference between the stitches. At least I don't see, so I don't worry about them. And if I have half cross stitch, sometimes I do the same. Let's say this one. So it's, yeah, sometimes I remove them for sure if I see that it's big difference, but in some cases like this one it works as good as with other colors with usual flow. My next point would be to use grid for cross stitching. For this particular design I stitch it as safe as possible, so do not allow any risk to have this grid to appear on the final design. So that's why I use my tool. I use my awl to make little holes for each 5 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just girls, don't make mistakes. It's awful when you have wrong grid and stitch it on it. So it's like a waste of hours if you stitch wrongly. But if you have grid, it's like time saver for sure. So for this one, it's not the easiest one, I would say, that to navigate on these holes, but it helps. There's no risk that it will appear somewhere or it will be visible. What I do for my other designs, which I'm not so worried about, I use watercolor pencils if I need many more colors, and I have erasable pencils. This one disappear when you wash it. Just like try it out before you start with your full coverage designs with big projects. Just it will be like such a disappointment if it stays, right? So it's better to try. And this one, they disappear on a hot temperature, so when I iron it, it disappears. I use these pencils, it's Peppermate, for couple years for sure, and it disappears, so I pretty much believe in them. So blue one for 10, every 10 squares. So in my application, I have a grid for every 10 squares, and I have pink one for the middle, this one, and sometimes I use purple one to have 20 squares. In some cases, I think that it probably worth to use this color to designate area which I will stitch. In such case, it will be much easier to find the right spot. If I have like probably 50 by 20, it will be like this one. And I don't need to look for, and it will be much faster to find the right the edge of my area. And the last 2 points would be from me is to, first one is obvious one, to stitch with half stitch. It's faster, and in some cases I like it more how it looks like and how it feels, so I feel like it's worth to give it a try for half stitch. Just make sure that you allow yourself at least 5,000 dots to half stitches to stitch before you decide that you don't like it. Just like when I started with half stitch the first time, I stitched about 3,000 stitches, and I decided it doesn't work for me, I don't like it, and I moved to cross stitch with the same project. But now I have about probably 6 or even more designs on half stitches, and I really like how it looks like, how it feels like. So it's just like matter of time to get used to it, like it, and have a proper tension for your thread to have a better result. And actually, you know that this one is like big count, it's 20-second count with DMC thread, so you can see canvas. But for this particular design, it's like very light one. It's not super important that canvas is visible. And actually, I would say that it's when I wash, I hope it even will be a little bit more filled, and I would say that probably these little white dots will not be visible at all. So half stitch works for me for sure now. I like it a lot. And last one point would be to use right needle. For the most of canvas, it's better to use blunt needle. I really love sharp needles only for Congress Tramin. For others, I prefer to have blunt needle, and actually for me it works that I use 28 needles, the smallest one, on 18th count, and for others I use 26 needles. What's the difference? For soft canvas, if you use sharp needle, it might go like somewhere there, and it's like it takes time to find the right spot. When it's blunt one, it goes right into right hole, right? But what's the difference with Congress Tramin? Let me show you. It is firm canvas and it's difficult to make a hole. So even if it's very sharp needle, it usually it finds a right hole right away and doesn't go in the canvas thread itself, right? So even if you try to make a hole, it's not like super easy. That's and why the point to use a sharp needle for this one. Usually how I anchor my thread here. So let's have a look. I make a couple half stitches and I go to the bottom of the last dot, bottom corner, and make a hole in the canvas thread and go inside it. With sharp needle it's easier, and that's it's fixed. That's why I use sharp needles for this particular canvas. I usually separate sharp needles and blunt needles. That's all my rules that I have for now for my cross-stitching speed, and I would be happy to see your comments about this topic. So whatever you tried and it doesn't work, whatever you have that it helps you, and actually if I didn't explain as much some of my rules, let me know in comments as well. I will try to explain in words, probably it will work better, and probably I will have another video which I will try to show in more details whatever is needed. And thanks for watching, see you in next videos. Bye!